Hello everyone, this is Nathan Grayson with Kotaku, and today I'm going to be showing you a bit of Punch Club, a game about a guy whose father gets murdered in his crazy fighting life, and so you decide to follow in his footsteps because that seems like a really good idea. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. This is my character, CM Punk, because I was feeling topical. So right, Punch Club is a sort of boxing tycoon management game. It's a bit more hands-on than other management games in that like you actually have direct control of your character when you're walking around the game world and stuff like that. But it's still very much about dealing with a lot of different needs and meters and trying to get your stats up and stuff. Fighting is only a very small portion of the game, despite the fact that it is ostensibly about combat. So for instance, right here, this is shortly after a fight I just did, and it's the after party, and there's this guy Tyler who's like trying to persuade me to go down the not so great, not as straight and narrow path of, you know, fighting in the streets and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and test myself. I'm gonna see what that's about. And that's gonna involve fighting, oh god, some guy who is markedly tougher than me if we're going off of pure stats. Well, not markedly tougher, I've got better agility, but he's got more HP and toughness. This is going to be a close one. Let's see how it goes. So, combat itself is pretty simple in that I don't have direct control over this. Instead, what I do is I select the active skills that my fighter is going to use in combat. This is a pretty early save. I have some later saves, but I didn't want to spoil a lot of it for you. So, I don't have many available skills, but I'm going to go ahead and focus on ones that use agility, because that's what my guy is good at. That's what I've trained him for. It's generally advisable to train your characters to specialize, rather than to be really well-rounded. So let's go ahead and grab... Right now I've got a regular kick in, but I'm going to use a high kick instead, because high kick requires more energy, and at the beginning of the fight I'm going to have more energy to work with, so I can kind of, you know, come out blazing and take control of the fight early. So let's go ahead and do that. I've also got dodge, because it's another agility-based skill, and it'll help me avoid getting hit. So I'm not controlling any of this. This is just my guy doing his thing. And wow, he's really doing his thing. Dang. But yeah, so you can see my energy's already going down pretty fast, although my opponent's going down faster because he's using some really high energy attacks. Unfortunately, they're not doing much for him. So yeah, that first round is pretty much all me, and I didn't use up very much energy at all, so I'm going to stick with the high kick for now. So as you can see, the fights themselves are kind of just, you sit here, you watch it go down. It's maybe not the most exciting thing ever, and that's sort of one of my, maybe not problems with the games, but an area where I wish the game was a little bit more interesting. And it becomes more interesting when you unlock more skills and attacks, but it's still very much like not really fighting. It's more rock'em sock'em robots with some extra abilities thrown in. Like, as someone who's big into fights, especially like MMA and the UFC, like I wish there was more focus on positioning and timing and distance and things like that. Just these like really key elements of combat that people don't really consider until they understand kind of more the art of it. But those are the things that make fights truly interesting and tactical and fun to watch and to participate in. Whereas instead here, like, I'm going to go ahead and switch up the skill really quick because my guy's getting tired. But yeah, the main tactical element that you're juggling is kind of that mixture of like, is your guy getting exhausted? Is he not? Are his defensive skills aligning well with his stats? Or are you, say, like, blocking when you should be dodging? Those sorts of more basic questions. But yeah, and I do sort of, well, there we go. I win. So yeah, as per usual, my HP and energy was turning downward throughout the fight, because that's how that goes. Overall, though, I did really well. my guy pretty much took that fight without any trouble at all. Good job, CM Punk. Maybe you really were cut out to be a fighter instead of a guy who talks into microphones real good. So that was that. Now, if I wanted to stick to the more straight and narrow path, I could stay with more sanctioned fights in the Fight League. My next fight is in 3 days. My current position is 9. I've been working my way through slowly but surely. And regardless of what I'm doing here, I've still got to stick with a regular training schedule and things like that. Otherwise, my stats will start going down. And that's really bad because my opponents keep getting tougher and tougher. So I can keep testing myself here, which might be a good idea. I may be able to, since I took that last fight so handily, I might be in a good enough position that I could take the next one. But instead, I'm going to go around and train up a little bit and give you a better sense for what the rest of the game is like. So, you navigate by way of a city map, and you can go to a number of different locations that are beneficial in various ways. For instance, you can go, I can go buy equipment to upgrade my own personal gym, or I can go to a gym that I have to pay for to use, and it's a good gym, but it costs money, and you've also got to do jobs to make money, and so if I'm spending all my money at the gym, then I've got to keep going to work, which uses up time that I could be using to train. So it's this balancing act. And there are little ways to cheat the balancing act. For instance, you have this food meter to keep your guy from keeling over because he's starved to death. Not usually a good thing for fighters to do. And you can keep that up by shopping and buying food or getting pizza. My guy's been subsisting basically entirely off pizza, just like the real CM Punk maybe. I don't know. I don't really know anything about CM Punk, aside from the fact that he did the wrestling kung fu in the World Wildlife Federation. But there are ways to cheat the system. For instance, instead of paying for food, I often go to Mick's office, this guy who's like helping me train up for some mysterious reason. And he'll just give me a meal because he's cool like that. Oh, and I can get wisdom from him. After I get a meal, I'm going to ask for wisdom. What? What a jerk. Okay, I guess he only gives me food when I'm like nearly starved to death. But, also another thing worth noticing is this game is just full of little background Easter eggs, references to things that may or may not have anything to do with combat or boxing. For instance, in the background, you'll notice that these dummies over here are based on various Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also you could read that as one of the Ninja Turtles, or I think that's probably Raiden from Mortal Kombat. There's Indiana Jones, Shredder, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, and so on. The game's got little bits of humor like that, and it all just looks really nice. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shell up top and some of their weapons. So yeah, it's clever like that. But anyway, so right now my character's most pressing issue is that he's pretty hungry. We should go do something about that. I have no money, so instead I'm going to travel by foot, which uses up some time in my day, but is usually better when you're poor. And I'm going to go do my job, which is a pizza delivery guy, because my life, at least as his character, revolves around pizza. Also here, the guys from Pulp Fiction. But yeah, let's do some delivery. So when I finish a day or a single helping of work, then I get $30, which is very good because I need money to buy food. But while doing that, that finished off a day. So you'll notice that I both lost and gained stuff. I gained stats by way of training earlier in the day, and then at the end of the day, you just sort of lose a certain amount. And so you've got to make sure that you're training regularly, but you can like take some time off depending on what you need to do. You've just got to keep in mind that once you get to fight day, you've got to be in peak condition. You've got to be where you want to be at. Otherwise, you're going to get clobbered by your opponent who's actually ready. So my next fight is in 2 days, and the game kind of, is pretty good about keeping you aware of when you're going to be fighting next. But yeah, so let me just finish up that job so I can actually have money. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that because my guy's very hungry. Oh, actually, now I think I'm going to go take advantage of... Whoopsie. I'm going to go take advantage of my friend who will feed me. Because I'm pretty hungry. I think I'm hungry enough that he'll feed me this time. Feed me! Ah, man. How does he even know? Did he, like, take my wallet and look inside of it? I don't like this guy anymore. Wisdom. Maybe he has wisdom. I guess that's fair. That doesn't really help me hit people, though. It's getting more and more useless every day. Okay, instead I'm just gonna go to the grocery store. Yes, I know, you looked at this video and you're like, Punch Club, oh man, exciting fights, and instead you're watching me grocery shop. I apologize, I guess. But yeah, so here's the grocery guy. Gonna buy a bunch of food from him. Right now, frozen pizza is probably my best bet, which is the quintessential meal of the pugilist in training. Every great boxer from Muhammad Ali to that one guy who said a bunch of racist stuff recently. They all just dine on pizza. Let's get 3 pizzas. Here's the thing about the game that annoys me. When you buy stuff from the grocery store, it goes to your place of residence. So you've got to go there to consume it. I can't just, like, eat it on the spot, which I guess makes some degree of sense because it's frozen, but even, like, 7-Elevens have microwaves. Come on. So I'm gonna go home and answer the phone, apparently. Exciting. Yep, the game kind of drives that point home a lot too, that you need to focus more than you need to be a well-rounded character. But yeah, so let's go over to my refrigerator, eat a pizza. Aw, man, I got a spoiled burger. Looks very bad, I hope I will never have to eat it. It is 40 food though, makes everything else terrible, but it's a lot of food. Yeah, so down a couple pizzas. Then get my energy up. Okay, so now I'm in pretty good shape all around. Next fight isn't for a little bit, so I'm gonna go hit up the gym. And here I can do a couple of things. I can spar this guy who's really tough and will invariably kick my ass. So instead I'm gonna walk into the gym area. Oh, that's right, I'm too poor. Ah! Oh, I've made a terrible mistake. Okay, what I meant by gym is that I'm going to go deliver more pizzas. This is not actually a game about punching at all. This is a game exclusively about being a really boring pizza delivery guy who just so happens to be extremely muscular from his high pizza diet. Okay, now I'm wealthy again. And hungry. Feed me a pizza. Let's just do that. No, don't make me deliver stuff. Don't be that guy. Order pizza. Eat a pizza. Okay, now I'm happy. I'm full of greasy, terrible food. That is the absolute ideal condition in which to go to a gym. Any of you who exercise will know this very well. Full of grease, very happy, go to the gym. Because, see, that leads to balance in life, right? If you're too happy and too full of grease, going to the gym when you're in that condition will alleviate both of those. It will get rid of a lot of the grease, and you'll be miserable. Everything in balance. It's like Bruce Lee. Fighting, etc. Can I help you? I guess so. We've never met before. Also, you're Wolverine from the X-Men. I'm gonna spot my friend. Rippling muscles. This is what it's all about. I am good at fighting. Kicking ass here and there. MBD. Underground Ultimate fights? I fight ultimately all the time. That's really funny. Cool. And yeah, so you get these like little kind of, not random, but unexpected story events too. Things that'll unlock new things for you to do, or just funny little moments, or sometimes it'll be like some kind of criminal element is hurting someone and you get to fight them. It varies the game up just enough to keep things surprising, because ultimately it is kind of a very pattern-based game. It can become a little bit repetitive and monotonous in times, but it does just enough. It throws you just enough of these little events that you're like, oh man, I want to keep going to see what's going to happen next. It's a bit insidious in that way, to be honest, and that, you know, you're definitely a lot of the time just watching these meters fill, but you're being thrown enough bones, you're following this little trail of breadcrumbs, you're mixing your metaphors in ways that keep you just entertained enough. It's kind of like being your character in this game, insofar as you've always got to keep the meters topped off just enough. You are ultimately just being played by the video game. Everything you know is a lie. Anyway, I'm going to work on keeping my stats balanced, so I'm just going to hit the heavy bag for a bit. That sort of keeps everything increasing at a measured, though not extremely quick pace. And I just hit the end of the day, so you see I lost some stats there. And so my two other stats that are not agility, my stamina, my strength, both drop back to 1. And I like to keep those at 2 pretty much at all times, so I'm going to box them back up before working my agility some more, because I want to have that at 5 before my next big fight. So actually, this one's going a little slow. Let's get my strength back up. Get some enormous triceps. Okay, so there's that. Stamina's already at 2, so let's hit the small bag. I like how my friend from weightlifting earlier is just like constantly exhausted. That's his whole role in the gym. It's just like, oh my god, I'm so tired. I'm always so tired. He should probably see a doctor about that, but whatever. Okay, so I'm nearly so low on food that I can't do anything else anymore. Can I afford an energy bar right now? I don't think I can, but it's worth checking. Ah, damn. I can afford a chocolate bar. Sure. Whatever keeps me training. Got a little bit of energy back. I think I should be able to use this to get my agility to level 5. We'll see, though. And see, even as you get hungrier, you get diminishing returns on the amount that you gain from exercising. So yeah, 9 to 5, and I completed a goal. This was a goal set forth by the head coach of the gym. So I guess I should probably go see him now. Now I can do a different type of training. I can do hand pads training, which will invariably make my boxing better, but right now I'm so hungry that doesn't seem like a good idea. What does seem like a good idea is going home and eating a pizza. Another phone call. What an exciting life my character leads. All the various locations. Yeah, I've been slacking a little bit on actually exploring the world because I'm showing you things. Saying blah blah blah. So deep. Suck a lemon. There is a schoolyard insult for the ages. Okay. Chow down on some heinously disgusting frozen pizza. Go out, work my job. Deliver pizza for a bit. I am going to do something exciting momentarily. I think I'm going to go take an underground fight right before my actual fight. Actually, no, it's time. It's the day of my big fight. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to do a big fight then. But see, even now, I've got to do this tactically because another day passed. So I'm once again working on some pretty low stats. My agility dropped back down, and I don't want that. So I'm going to finish doing this delivery stuff. Fortunately, I've got as long as I do the fight at some point on this day, I'm good. So I can do this such that I will be able to top off both my need stats and my fighting stats, I think, before I actually take the fight. Let's see if I can pull this off. So first, I'm going to order some pizza. I'm going to eat it. Now my guy is tired, which is going to complicate things just a little bit. I'm going to have him rest, which will also take up food. It's a slight problem. Make that a rather large problem. I'm going to go here again. Let's see, what's some food I can actually afford. Actually, I have an idea. This is a long shot. He calls me his hero because I saved him from someone earlier in the game. So I can afford to get one thing. If I end up with very little money and I'm starving, then my friend from earlier will feed me. This is a long shot, but it's worth a try. So let's go ahead and buy that frozen pizza and also a soda, and then see if I can persuade him to feed me. If you don't feed me this time, then I'm just going to stop trying to make him feed me. Please give me food. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, I'm going to go to the gym. Oh, right, I can't afford the gym. I keep making miscalculations. Okay, well, I still have an option. I can go train at my home. I don't have much equipment here right now, which is unfortunate. But if I can just get my agility back to where I want it before the day is over... Actually, that's looking unlikely. Well, shit. I'm going to have to take a fight with my agility not where I want it to be. So this could be a close one. Let's see what happens. Okay. So, oh wow, this guy looks terrible. I don't know why I was even worried. I guess the Fight League had been, putting me against stronger and stronger people, but if you'll notice, this guy has 1s in all of his primary stats. He's lower than me in every way. All he has is really basic skills. This is, unless there's something that I'm not seeing here, this is going to be a complete shutout. Let's see how it goes down. High kick and dodge. Yeah, this guy does not really stand even a slight chance against me. Not sure what he's doing at this point in the Fight League, but it's good that he's trying. Yep. Should be able to finish him off this round. In the background are more references. There's a poster for Stony. I bet you can't guess who that's a joke about. Okay. Knocked out the man who looks slightly like Dhalsim from Street Fighter. Super easy, and I even got, despite how easy it was, I got some points to put into my skills, which I will show you because that's also another key element of the game. So you have this big skill tree. And it has your basic skills, and then as you progress further, you unlock specializations. I'm headed for Way of the Tiger because I'm an agility-based fighter, but there's also Way of the Bear, which is rooted in strength, and Way of the Turtle, which is about your stamina. So, for now, I'm going to invest in another basic skill, which right now I've sort of got my build set to emphasize that I'm a bit of a glass cannon, that I come out really strong and then I get tired fast. So I have this do not fall down skill, which means that I won't lose agility below 4, so when I get really low on agility, people can't knock me down as easily. That's good. So at this point, effective but agility-dependent punch sounds good for my build, and because I recently did another fight, I have enough that I can probably buy 2 sets, well, not 2 sets of skills, unfortunately, because they all cost 5. So it really just comes down to what I want to emphasize right now. I've got a pretty good but extremely limited skill set, but I also don't have many active skill slots. So what I probably want to do right now is invest in getting another skill slot at the moment so that I can bring more abilities with me into each round. And then the next thing that I would get is the backhand high punch, so I can have that with me, as well as my high kick. And that'll give me a more varied striking arsenal, which will make me more effective in combat. So for now, let's just get that skill. And then, because my guy's riding pretty high and I made some money, I'm going to go ahead and go into the gym, train up, and then I'm going to go take a warehouse fight. So there we go. We're now 5 on agility, and still have enough food that I'm comfortable accepting if I can go ahead and sign up for my next Rookie League fight too. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hop over to the abandoned warehouse. I'm gonna go by bus so I don't use up any time. Okay, so here's this entirely not shady looking character. Organized ultimate fights. I don't look like a cop, but I am the adopted son of a cop, so he's not entirely correct. I'm in. Take a challenge. He hadn't burned his face, so it's unfortunate. Alright, so I can do one right now. Let's dive right in. Okay. So I'm up against Fred Getley. And he looks pretty tough, actually. Agility is the only stat where I'm higher than him. Everything else, he beats me in. And on top of that, he's got more health. This will be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and add another offensive attack, because again, I'm kind of an offensive-minded fighter at this point. We'll see how it goes. I might lose here. Ooh, yeah. He's doing a number on me so far. I don't like my chances. Come on, CM Punk. You can't even win this underground fight, then you don't stand a chance in the UFC when you finally take a fight in 6 years. Alright, tough first round. Things are not looking promising, but you never know. Maybe this guy's actually getting pretty exhausted with a very high output style. He's down to almost no energy. I'm going to start scoring knockdowns on him soon, unless he has that perk that... Nope. I'm starting to knock him down. And so, see, this fight is starting to turn around now, because his fighting style is too heavy on energy use. But at the same time, each round he gets a little bit of energy back. And let's see something. Does he have any skills that are about getting even more energy back than he normally would? He does not. He does have this, though, Backlash. It's a counterattack, and that seems super dangerous. If he manages to land that on me, then he could change the composition of the fight again. Got another knockdown. This is, he's still... Nope, he doesn't have more health than me anymore, and he just keeps getting knocked down. Meanwhile, my energy is topped off. I'm doing great on energy, and actually adding a regular kick in with my high kick has balanced out my fighter a lot more, such that he's not getting winded all the time. Still a close fight. We are right at the same, well, close to the same level of HP now. He's a lot further down than me. Another knockdown. I think I've got this. Alright, CM Punk, use here. The Punk Buster. Was that his special wrestling move? Again, I really don't know anything at all about CM Punk. At least not insofar as his outside the UFC stuff. Alright, I win. What? Some manner of... That man has one laser eye. The Cyclops. Who is the man with the red eye? It seems that I've met him before. I like that there are two options. He's the man in black, wears the red eyes. Take your pick. Oh, so he's Dana White. The first bloody fight. Done. Alright, so that was kind of an overview of what Punch Club is all about. It's a pretty fun game so far, although, as I was saying earlier, it can get a little bit monotonous, especially insofar as the rhythm every couple days is more or less the same. You're like, okay, I'm going to do some work, make some money, watch my stats go down, build them back up, make slow progress in my stat of choice, and then take some fights. But it's a satisfying rhythm with enough variation in those story moments that it's a pretty fun game overall, and I can understand why it's doing so well on Steam. So with that said, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time.